Yes. Who? I'm sorry. I've got my lines all screwed up. Who am I talking to?
This is Derek.
Oh, hey, Derek. Okay. Go ahead, Derek.
Hi. My issue is I live in an apartment complex, and it was sold to a management company. I had 2 parking garages, 2 parking spots. So the management company sent us a letter saying that we could only have 1 spot and that the additional spot would cost us $50. So we showed them where the previous managers had a contract with us that said we had 2 spots.
And how long was the contract for?
I had lived in this apartment complex. It was a month-to-month contract, but I've lived there for over 15 years.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. A month-to-month is not a contract. A month-to-month contract is good for 30 days. And does it say in the contract you get 2 spots?
Yes.
Okay, but that's over every 30 days. And by the way, just to let you know, do you sign a new contract every 30 days?
No, we do not.
All right, then you don't have a contract. At the end of the 30 days, there is no contract. So now here you are on a month-to-month tenancy with no contract, Eric. Don't think you have a contract. You don't.
Okay, so I have no contract.
That's correct.
So
you have now.
come in and,
Now, what you do is you're going to argue I was grandfathered in. And he's going to say, I can change that because we have no contract, and I'm now changing it.
I do that?
No, that's what he does.
So how come he didn't raise our rent like $300?
He doesn't, because he doesn't have to. But he can. He can raise the rent if it's a rent stabilized. If there's a rent control ordinance, he can only raise the rent per the law or per the percentage that is allowed. And usually it's of cost of living, or it's based on some kind of an inflation rate, which is not going to be very much, or some kind of a new ordinance comes in that is able to do a pass-through. If taxes go up, you can do a pass-through, whatever the law allows. But if there is no contract and he goes, by the way, your parking spot is now $50, he can do it.
And so tomorrow he can just say the parking spot's $100.
Yep.
And just
Yep.
whatever he wants to choose.
Yep.
All right.
All
Thank you
right.
for your time.
All right. You're welcome. I know it's tough, and we have a month-to-month contract. Nah, you don't. No, you don't.
Well, my problem is this. My wife and I have a living trust that we established 10 years ago. Now we have 2 small children, and my wife was recently diagnosed with cancer. So we thought, we better take this trust and have it reviewed, make sure everything is in order. We took it to an attorney, gave it to her, explained our situation, and asked her to look at it and see if we needed to amend it. She sent us a restatement of the trust, which was no explanation. It was kind of a problem, threw us back a little bit until I looked at what a restatement was, and then we looked at it thoroughly, and it had like 20 mistakes in it where there were cut and paste items thrown in there that weren't complete with finished sentences, and misspellings, words in just out of the blue in the wrong place. We sent it back and said, gee, this is a little problem. She explained why she did the restatement, felt that it was necessary, which I now understand it was just too much trouble to read the original trust. But she then made those corrections, but the copy that she sent us next, and she never identified the first one.
All right, but Rod, you're going through this, so there's an end game here. What's your question?
So we got it. Well, quickly, the question is this. She sent us another one, and it had new mistakes in it, about 10 pages worth.
Got it.
And I signed a retainer with her.
Doesn't matter.
So
she breached. She breached. Tell her that she breached. You don't have a retainer. Because the retainer, the implication in a retainer or implied in the retainer is that she does a decent job. I would simply explain everything she did and a chronology and simply say, you're fired. Take it to another lawyer. Have that other lawyer do the trust and tell lawyer number 1, sue me.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring into court every document that you screwed up. And I'm going to show the judge everything. And by the way, that retainer agreement probably has an attorney's fees clause where prevailing party picks up attorney's fees. And I would put in there, by the way, I am going to bring an attorney in here, and once the judge sees how many mistakes you made and how lazy you are, I'd be that aggressive, then you're going to get to pay for my attorney too. Have a nice day. That's what I would do.
All right. That sounds good.
Yep.
That's
all right. That's exactly what I would do. Because when someone signs a contract, granted, it's a valid signed contract that whoever signs it is connected to. In other words, you have to do it. You have to fulfill the terms of the contract. But not if someone breaches the contract. If there is a breach, I'm going to buy a house from you, and I have to put $50,000 or $5,000 into an escrow, and I don't, there's a valid contract there. I breached it. Contract over. Same thing with this situation. He hires a lawyer for a trust to redo it and screws it up twice. Okay, you're done.
Everybody clap your hands. Clap, clap, clap your hands. Clap, clap, clap your hands. Burn it out. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. One hop, one hop.
Selwyn. Hello, Selwyn. Welcome.
Hey, welcome. Thank you. I have a neighbor that just came back from the hospital. Good news, not in a bad body bag. Bad news, really bad stroke. Sits in the corner. When I go over to help him out, I get a lot of phone calls. I pick up for him, and there's a lot of creditors calling, and
Okay.
they won't talk to me.
That's right, because you are not the person that owes the money. They can't talk to you. They're not allowed to talk to you.
him because he sits in the corner and drools.
All right, so tell him that. Hey, yeah, the guy's in a stroke. Here, you talk to him.
I did that once, and
All right.
I said, well, when he feels better, have him call.
Okay, so why don't you just Selwyn? Why? What do you care?
Well, I'm a neighbor.
Okay, so what? Just hang up or say, hey, call him some other time. Just ignore the phone call. Someone
Okay.
calls up and goes, hi, I'm creditor A. And just hang up.
Because, most of them come across as unavailable.
Selwyn,
The,
what did I just say?
Hang up.
That's right. As soon as you realize it's a creditor, just hang up.
Okay?
All right. Like, what responsibility do you have for this?
Hey, so I have, in the past 3 years, I was diagnosed twice with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and both times it was in stage 4 progression. And I went through chemotherapy treatment the first time it was diagnosed, and the cancer was alleviated, and I was in remission for a short time, and the cancer returned again in stage 4. So the second time I went through both chemotherapy and radiation treatment, and again the cancer was eliminated, But a short time after the radiation and chemotherapy treatment, I began to have a lot of symptoms of nerve damage and lots of muscle use in my upper body. So since then, I've seen different oncologists and neurologists, and there has been a lot of nerve damage in my upper body. They're not directly attributing it to radiation, while they think that it could be the radiation.
No, you can, Mike. You can stop right there. If they're not directly attributing it to the doctor, you're done. What do you want to do? Sue the doctor for medical malpractice?
Well, no. Because of the type of work I do, and because of the limited use I have of my arms and hands now, it makes it difficult.
All right, no, I understand. But what do you want? What do you want?
Well, I didn't know if doctors had any type of insurance.
Yeah, they do, but only they do, Mike. But they have to be held liable. It's called medical malpractice. No insurance company is going to write a check to you based on the fact that they're insured. The doctor is not liable for medical malpractice. That's the only way you're going to be able to get any money, any remuneration, is to establish the fact that doctor committed medical malpractice.
Now, does the malpractice, does that necessarily indicate that they were negligent in the treatment?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what malpractice is. The doctor was negligent in treating you.
Okay, so if it was just a standard treatment that many people go through.
Oh, yeah, there's, of course. There are side effects to all of it. As a matter of fact, between chemo and radiation, there's all kinds of side effects, Mike.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, your history. You know what? I say you have no case, and he starts laughing. That's a good attitude. You have to admit, it's a pretty good attitude.